Hi guys, it's your girl Lola Loves You, and today's topic is Young Berg confirms Ray J and Whitney Houston's relationship that everybody speculated. And then I want to get into the dynamic of Whitney Houston and Ray J's alleged relationship. Um, in the interview Young Berg have done, I think that's Noriega. I don't know who. I think that is Noriega. It's a podcast, or I don't know. I saw the video footage of it, but anyway, Young Berg was just confirming that Whitney Houston and Ray J was an item, and that he saw Whitney Houston getting ready to be intimate with Ray J. He made a mistake and went into their hotel room and caught the two, and he was just saying how Whitney Houston was cool, and she was a chain smoker and things that I already knew and talked about. So I just was saying a little bit of that. And everybody is taking this and acting like this is something brand new. We all been knew this situation and about their relationship, whether it was just the friends with benefits or I knew they were intimate, allegedly. Um it makes me think about the relationship in a whole. In my opinion, I was very disgusted with the relationship. You have to realize Whitney Houston was Brandy Norwood's mentor. Brandy could have been Whitney Houston's daughter. Ray J is younger than Brandy. Whitney Houston been knowing Brandy for the longest. And I know Ray J was grown and Whitney Houston is grown, but they start messing around, but it's disrespectful and distasteful. At this time in Whitney Houston's life, I noticed, in my opinion, Whitney Houston probably had a nervous breakdown, some type of mental disorders, because I just don't understand her publicly being around this guy and acting like a teenager when you're a mother to a teenage daughter that's watching you. I know this. I really believe Whitney Houston tried to use the whole Ray J image to get back at Bobby Brown, in my opinion. But it just backfired on her because it made her look crazy and delusional. You just went through a traumatic marriage that cost you your career and your livelihood and your image, and then you go and mess with someone extremely younger than you, and someone that you used to mentor, their baby brother. And that's very dysfunctional. And I'm going to do a video in the future of Whitney Houston's dysfunctions throughout her career and her life. And that situation was very dysfunctional. And you had to think about what Whitney Houston's mind was at. This lady still was messing around with Ray J the day she died, the day she passed. She still was messing with Ray J. And you had to wonder, what was her mental health like? You understand what I'm saying? And it just was like, you have a teenage daughter and you're messing around with someone. And the men Whitney Houston chose, Bobby Brown, very promiscuous, Ray J, very promiscuous. I don't understand what her thought process was. Even we all grown. If she wanted, to have her friends with benefits, that's fine. But to publicly put it out there, that was very distasteful. Also, I believe you know how Sonia Norwood and Brandy are. I know they didn't approve of this. It just was very distasteful on Whitney Houston's behalf. I never blamed the man. I always blame, in my opinion, the woman, because you had the choice to do right or wrong and to control your image or decisions that you make. And Whitney Houston was old enough to know better about the decision she was doing, especially she was being selfish because she didn't put Bobby Chris in front of the situation. No one wants to see their mama dating some younger man, and after you didn't, she just came out of a situation like this. So it's like it wasn't a learning lesson. It was not a learning lesson for her with the marriage, with Bobby Brown. So you know what I'm saying, you in this relationship with this younger guy that it just shouldn't have never been, in my opinion. And then you have people like Sissy Houston in the book about Whitney Houston, that she approved of the relationship. She says she could understand why Whitney Houston like Ray J. And I'm like, wow, are you serious? So I mean, it's just crazy. And then you have, I believe Ray J came into Whitney Houston's life because Whitney Houston was, in my opinion, was a person with very insecure with low self esteem. So she just got out of a bad marriage. She's embarrassed. A man left her. He's making a new family and away for himself, and she's alone. No friends. She pushed all her good friends away, and this young guy come around, and the whole tape, the scandalous tape is out, and she feels though she probably, she want to do something spontaneous, and that spontaneous part of Whitney Houston always get her in trouble. And her and Ray J did a song. She was on the bridge of one of his songs. I don't think the song ever made it to any of his albums, but you can look it up on YouTube. She did the hook on one of his songs. I think a demo, and she just started hanging around with him. Every time you would see them together, they was always running from the paparazzi, and she always looked disheveled, defensive. She didn't look like she was at a good headspace. Even the day of her, up to the day of her passing, Ray J was staying in the hotel with her. His things were found in her hotel. His belongings. He was rent. I think allegedly he was renting a tux or some clothing, and the company wanted it back. But due to the investigation of Whitney Houston's passing, his clothes was, his belongings was in her hotel room. Um, Also, then a couple days before her passing, her and Stacey Francis got into it because Stacey Francis allegedly was just speaking to Ray J and Whitney Houston at this time during the Kelly Price R&B party. She was drinking a little bit much, and she was allegedly a little drunk, and wanting to have an altercation with Stacey Francis, but thank goodness that you know I don't know what happened, but they didn't fight. They didn't have an altercation, and they went their separate ways. So you could see her leaving the party. She was disheveled, and in my opinion, she was drunk. She was more intoxicated than high, in my opinion. So you have to look. Even Leola Brown. Sometimes her theories be off, or and sometimes her theories be, in my opinion, be right. Allegedly, she said Whitney Houston told her that Ray J was her runner for her, for her drugs. So that makes you think, like, it just doesn't seem right. And I don't know what to say about the situation. The whole Ray J and Whitney Houston situation is very weird. It's sad that Whitney Houston surrounded herself with people that really did not, you know, what I want to say. She didn't surround herself with people that really cherish the true Whitney Houston and really loved her unconditional. And the people that did love her unconditional, she pushed them away. And it's so sad, even through her passing, she still was searching for someone to accept her unconditionally. But she, what I'm saying, she would have been she was searching to the day she passed, and she was never going to get that on earth because you know why? She didn't love herself unconditionally. If she didn't love herself unconditionally, it didn't matter who she went around with, who she was with, or in relationship with, or dealing with. You got to get it from God and yourself. If you don't get self love for yourself and from God, you can search to the day you pass. You ain't gonna never find it on earth. And it's so sad that Whitney Houston was enough, but she didn't understand that she was enough. And like I said, in my opinion, she was having a mental breakdown, and Whitney Houston probably been having nervous breakdowns on top of nervous breakdowns for years, and it just wasn't never clinically diagnosed. Just her bad behavior, poor behavior. And like I said, if she didn't have no children or nothing like that, she'd been fine. She could do whatever she wanted to do. But she had a daughter, and she had a responsibility that she failed on. It's so sad that had she put faith in herself, She always had faith in God. If had she put faith in herself and into her daughter, her life would have been much, much, much more better. Her story would have, her comeback would have been so strong, and she would have been a true testimony. But she left this world still being immature, bad decisions, and having the wrong people surrounding her. I hope this story of Whitney Houston's and her love, especially her love life, I hope it touched young females out here that make bad decisions. When you make that bad decisions, it's terrible consequences that will follow that. When you can't own up to your mistakes or stop, you know, not getting it together, like, all right, I gotta get myself together. You're gonna keep going in circles and circles until you are no longer here. It's your girl Lola loves you. That's why I think about the Whitney Houston and Ray J situation. Young Berg just telling stories, Hollywood stories that he know, just for entertainment for an interview. I'm not mad at him. But let me know what y'all think about Whitney Houston and Ray J's relationship or whatever the case may be. Because sometimes Ray J claimed that they were together. Sometimes he said they were just friends. So you never know. But anyway, it's your girl Lola loves you. And I love my honey bunnies. Bye.